Do you want an approach to dating wisely, marrying wisely, and if it occurs, divorcing wisely? If so, stay with me and we will discuss how. I am John F. Whitney, author of the book I Do If It's Equitable, a philosophy for dating and marriage to avoid the potential horrors of divorce. I will be your host and your guide as we discuss the I Do philosophy. This is Section 1, Video 1 of 3, a synopsis of the I Do philosophy. Now, first off, if you believe ignorance is bliss, love is blind, or love conquers all, then do not watch this video series. It can do nothing for you. Dating. Dating can become a time-consuming and expensive effort whose trends often become expectations and then reality, possibly with detrimental results. Marriage. Many consider marriage as nothing more than a means to acquire wealth and property that their education, employment, or social status cannot provide for them. Divorce. Divorce has reached a crisis state in America. So too has its financial and emotional consequences. What is the answer to the financial and emotional trauma that can result from bad dating, bad marriage, or bad divorce? I Do If It's Equitable, and its companion philosophy is one such answer. Honest and open communication is the very backbone of the I Do philosophy. Through honest and open communication, each person in the relationship accepts his or her strengths, limitations, assets, liabilities, goals, and expectations while dating and before marriage. Standards of conduct and beliefs are adopted, which apply to, govern, but most importantly protect both partners. Potential problems, adverse situations, and unacceptable behaviors are recognized, discussed, and resolved before they become destructive. If they cannot be resolved, then it would be wise for each partner to go their separate way. Properly applied, the I Do philosophy should allow both partners to continue dating and/or enter marriage without suspicion. The couple is free to enjoy a loving, growing, stable relationship without having to fear any potential harm the other may cause. The I Do philosophy elements are: we'll behave, we believe, we expect, we own and owe, we have, share, and divide, we'll maintain, we'll protect the children, we'll document, we'll make it binding, and finally, we'll depart friendly. Let's briefly discuss each element. The goal of the I Do philosophy is to build a happy, healthy, growing, stable relationship. Therefore, let's do as any builder would do: design and follow a blueprint. Why? Every element on a blueprint has its purpose to the builder and the final product. So too with the I Do philosophy. We'll behave. This element is a code of ethics, if you will. Its purpose is to establish principles of honor, loyalty, and commitment between partners. Its goal is to implement a common set of behaviors which will govern, but most importantly, protect both partners. We believe. This element is a set of resolutions, as it were. Its purpose is to acknowledge the errors inherent in the current divorce system an attempt to shield each partner from them. Its goal is to establish a set of guidelines by which profit and property of the marriage are equitably divided after the marriage. We expect. This element discusses what the present and future expectations of each partner are, what they expect personally, and what they expect from the relationship. Its purpose is to allow both partners to honestly and openly address what they expect of themselves, the other partner, and the relationship while they are dating and before they marry. Its primary goal is to begin honest and open communication between the partners while they date and before they marry. Why is honest and open communication so essential while dating? If you cannot discuss and resolve key issues before the marriage, it is unlikely they will be discussed or resolved during the marriage. A secondary goal is to expose any ulterior motives the partner may have, or if none exist, to address unreasonable or impossible expectations earlier rather than later in the relationship. Will maintain. This element discusses maintaining the relationship. Its purpose and goal is to encourage open, honest, and regular communication between partners. This assures that both partners remain in tandem as to the social, emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of the relationship. We own and owe. This element discusses personal and joint wealth and liability. The primary purpose of this element is to first determine the assets and liabilities of each partner so that each partner can respect their assets and have a roadmap to resolve their liabilities. A second purpose is to document property and assets each partner owns prior to the marriage, as both partners accept that these assets are exempt from the marriage. We have, share, and divide. The basic approach of this element is simple. What's mine is mine. What's yours is yours. What's ours will be equitably divided. The purpose of this element is to provide a means of defining and dividing the material gains acquired during the marriage before the marriage occurs. The goal of this element is to strictly define and divide property acquired during the marriage so that spouses or former spouses do not become adversaries over the possession of any item. This should render moot attorneys who urge you to fight for property or assets that do not belong to you. Will document. The purpose of this element is to allow for clear and timely proof of profit and property acquired during the relationship. This will establish the means by which the profit and property of the relationship is accounted for and divided. The goal of this element is to render moot any current or future argument as to the ownership of any item acquired during the relationship. Will protect the children. The purpose of this element is to equitably provide for the needs of any children of the relationship. The goal is to establish guidelines by which financial responsibility of any children is equitably shared. The ultimate goal is to guarantee the well-being of the children, while assuring that one partner does not or cannot use or manipulate the children to that person's benefit. Will make it binding. This element combines everything discussed and accepted into a legally binding contract, not a prenuptial agreement. Now, I am no attorney, but I must believe that contract law is more binding and harder to break than a prenuptial agreement. In fact, if a prenuptial agreement does not meet certain requirements, the court will declare it invalid. Will depart friendly. The purpose of this element is is to give the ending of a relationship the same respect and honor that existed during the relationship. The goal is to prevent one partner from causing financial or emotional harm to the other. Now, this concludes our discussion on a synopsis of the I Do philosophy. Our next discussion will be on honest and open communication, the very backbone of the I Do philosophy, if not to any and every relationship. I hope you will join me. If you learned anything of value, please consider hitting that like or share button. Leave me a comment, especially if you have a question, concern, problem, or issue that we might be able to resolve together. Or leave me a comment if you can assist me in improving my presentation to you. Finally, if you feel that I am worthy of your time and effort, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you will know when I upload a new installment of the I Do philosophy. Until next time, date wisely, date safely, and remember, I do, if it's equitable.